Hello everybody, I'm just getting my area ready to go. I'm just a couple minutes late. Had to work until 5 today, so it kind of didn't help much. So had less time to get ready, but just bear with me and we're going to make 2 cards tonight. And I think I can see yes, I can see comments and I can see my YouTube live. Perfect. All right, so we've got Carol from Connecticut. Hi, Carol. Karen Messenger from Virginia, and Carla from Pennsylvania. Nice to see you guys, or see that you're watching me anyway. So tonight we're going to make these 2 cards here. This was the first time I used this one, or this stamp set here. I had it for months and I said, I got to use it. It can't sit on my shelf. So we're going to use this one here, and then we're going to make this card here last, or actually we're going to make this one first because my hands could get pretty yucky sponging, so it could be a hot mess, so I don't want to ruin this card. So we'll go with this one first. This is one of my June Card Club card designs that I'll be sending to my participants for June, or towards the end of the month. So I'll just give it another couple minutes here. Hey, Denise, right down the road, and Joni. Hello, Joni, another watcher from Pennsylvania, and Denise is from Vermont. All right, so I'm going to get started just because I've got to finish designing my retreat. My retreat is going to be in person on July 24th and 25th, and there's also going to be an opportunity to purchase a retreat in a box. So if you're not on my email list, I suggest you get on my email list by probably Sunday, because tomorrow morning I am going to up to my mom and dad's, which is about almost 2 hours away from me, and I'll be gone all day. So I'm going to finish up all the fine details on Sunday and get that posted and send it out on Constant Contact. So it should be a fun retreat. I haven't done a retreat in person for probably a year and a half because of COVID. I used to have them at my house, so I'm going to be having it at a hall. It's going to be a bigger room, and it should be fun. So anyway, if you're not on my email list, I would suggest you go to inspiredbygram.com, and you can just fill out that pop-up and you'll get that information. All right, so let's do a little housekeeping quickly. So my host code for June is these From My Heart Faceted Gems. Now, I can't show them to you because I don't have them in my craft room, but I did insert a little picture here what they look like. They are iridescent gems, and they are iridescent. So they do give some sparkle on your cards and 3D projects. And if you place an order on my website for $35 or more and use the host code. Now, I have customers that order with me all the time and don't use a host code, and it's crazy because you should be getting free product from me, especially when your order is at least $35, which it always is. So if it's over $149.99, don't use that host code so you can get those Stampin' rewards. A $150 order gets you $15 of free product from Stampin' Up, plus these gems. So that is that. And then let's see, what else do I have? Not too much. I'm just going to go over quickly my June Card Club. If you weren't with me last week, I showed you guys all of the cards. I believe I did. I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't, well, this is the first time you're going to see it. So what I have decided to use is the Sweet Symmetry. So next year, I'm going to design my charts here horizontally, because look, I think you can see it all right now, can't you? So I'm going to design them a little bit differently for you guys. So we're going to just turn them horizontally here. I just kept going back to this paper. I'm not sure why. I think I was really drawn to the coral and the Night of Navy and just the simplicity of it, I guess. It is mostly directional paper, so your patterns will be going, let's look at this one here. You just got to remember to cut your patterns correctly, but I just love it, and I think I really created a nice card club for you guys. So again, this is the one that we're going to be making tonight, and this embossing folder, beautiful. I can't remember what it is, but it's over here. It is called, hold on, Pretty Flowers. Okay, Pretty Flowers are pretty. They're amazing, you guys. You can use either side of that embossed panel and your card will look fabulous. We've got some ribbon here. Of course, you'll get a bolt of ribbon, and I'll show you that in a second. But this is a card we're going to make. Really super cute. And then another card in my card club is this really fun fold. Like, this is amazing. I love this one. So it uses a strip of designer series paper, almost 6 by 12, but I think it's 6 by 10 and a half. I don't have my measurements here. So it opens up like this, and then it opens up like this. All right, did you see that? So just pretend this is a regular A2 size card, but you got a little special extra piece of paper here. So one fold, and then it opens up here. So really fun, a fun fold, right? So that's card number 2. And then number 3 is lots of layering with this sweet Stitch So Sweetly dies. I brought those back into Card Club this month. And then here's a nice little stamped image. Here I used the Wink of Stella and pushed out the green ink this way. So, and then there's a little card, big thanks. So it's kind of like a thank you June Card Club, but if you don't have this stamp set, then you can use anything that you want from your craft room. All right, and here's this one as well. Okay, so those are the cards for June. You would also receive, so you receive 8 kits, 2 of each design. I'm throwing in one sheet of dimensionals this month. And the gems I'm including are the In Color Square gems from 2020 and 2022. And then the fabulous, really pretty ribbon here. It's braided. It's called Just Jade and Gold braided ribbon. And it's really meant to fray at the ends. And you'll see on the ribbons here that or the bows, it does fray, and that is supposed to happen. So just gives a little different look to your card. So we're going to make this one, and then this is the one I designed I made this card the other day for my boss. He has a birthday coming up on Monday, or no, let's see. I think it's actually 765. It's tomorrow. But he didn't work today, so we celebrated it on Thursday. So I had to whip up this card really quickly on Wednesday night. And I kind of like speckled it with the Wink of Stella. And then on the inside. I've never used this stamp set or the dies until the other night. So I figured I need to use it. It's in the annual catalog. It did carry over. So I think it turned out pretty good. All right, so let's make this one here first. Okay, so let me grab my supplies that I need, which are in a bin here. So here's that embossing folder. I've got about 4 different stamps here I'm going to use on my supplies in the ribbon. And then the punch. So Flowers and Leaves punch is new. And it's probably hard for you guys to see, but it's got 2 different size flowers and some leaves. I'm not using the leaves tonight, but we're going to use those 2 flowers. And here is that Pretty Flowers embossing folder. If you want the item number, it's 155428. And it's a really thin one. It's not that 3D thickness. So it's, I don't know, it's just for what it does. Let me just show you, and I know you probably can't see all the detail, but it's not 3D, but it honestly looks 3D. It's really lightweight, it's very thin, and if you're in my June card club, you will be getting 2 of these because we make 2 of these cards. So, and you can honestly use either side. It doesn't really matter because both are just really detailed and beautiful. So I'll flip it over this way. That's the emboss side, and then that's the deboss side. So I think I got that right. Anyway, that is just gorgeous. So that again is Pretty Flowers embossing folder. All right, so we're gonna get started fairly simple, and I just realized I did not cut that die out. So, all right, let me figure it out for you guys, because I might just have to use a punch because I don't want to keep you guys waiting. So I think I'm just going to use a punch. Let me just grab a couple of them and we'll try to figure it out. Okay, so we are working with Calypso Coral. And this is 8.5 by 5.5. I've already scored it at 4 1/4, so that's super easy. And then here's that embossed panel. We're just going to layer that on top. And let me just grab my silicone craft sheet because you guys know I like to work with that. And you know what? I'm going to actually put the adhesive on this side because this one, we're just gonna do it a little bit differently tonight. Let's use the other side. So I'm going to add adhesive on all 4 sides because it is an embossed panel and you need to have that extra stickiness. And you guys know me, I usually just kind of put it 3 lines and that's good. Let's save our adhesive. But for something that's embossed, I would highly suggest just going around all 4 sides. So I'm just kind of layering that right on. And that's easy, right? Then the next thing we want to work with are these 2 panels. This one's cut 3 by 4, and then we're maximizing our designer series papers. This is Sweet Symmetry, don't forget. Here's the blue side. Super, super pretty. You know what? I'm going to make it differently. Let's make it so this is showing on top. We're gonna wing it tonight. We're gonna just turn it around so you can see both sides of that paper working together. All right, so we're just gonna, I like to wing it once in a while because kind of that's how we all learn. And if it's a flop, it's a flop. I don't care, right? I mean, if we don't learn, we don't learn, and that's okay. All right, I've got a brand new sheet of dimensionals. When you guys get a brand new sheet, don't you just like don't want to use them, right? Because, oh, it's just so nice working with a brand new sheet of dimensionals. All right, so I'm going to add 5 dimensionals because if you don't add one in the center there, it's kind of going to buckle and you don't want that happening. And since you're adding ribbon around it, I just like to add it so it's not in the middle, it's just either up or bottom. Or the ribbon, just pretend it's going to go here. Let me just show you, Karen. So it's going to go right here. So you wouldn't want that dimensional down here because then it's going to be up a little bit higher. So we're going to, let's just take these dimensional backings off because I find it's a little bit easier to work with them already off. So I got them all peeled off. And then I'm going to make sure this is flat. Okay, we're gonna flip it around and let's just put it on that silicone craft sheet. Love it because nothing ever sticks to it. All right, and I'm going to bring in my card here because I like to put this down. Oh, wait a minute. I'm jumping ahead. I need this piece here. So let me just add that on. Almost missed that step. I'm sure you guys were saying, Karen, you're missing a step, and I didn't even see it. This is cut 1 3/4 by 4, so it's edge to edge on the embossed panel. And I know some of you guys are probably saying, Karen, you've got it going the wrong way, but quite honestly, you're only going to see a 1/2 inch on both sides, so it really honestly doesn't matter. Now let's take that other panel here. Again, I'm going to make sure that it's flat on the back side, and then we're just going to center this panel, top, bottom, left, and right. And see, now that ribbon still slides through. And now we're going to tie a bow. And if I can't get a bow to work, we're then just going to tie a square knot. But I got one, that's pretty good too. All right, so now we're going to move this all the way over. Okay, I'm gonna snip off those tails because they're a little crazy. So I've got the scissors here that Karen Rowe gave those to me, and they're so nice. I use them all the time in my craft room. They're so super heavy. I do not bring them to my in-person classes because these are like super precious and I don't want anybody cutting paper with them. Okay, so we've got that. And now we're going to stamp. Let's do some stamping. If we stamped here and then we stamped the envelope. So we're going to do that. We're going to grab a piece of, this is our 4x5 1/4 piece. And let me grab, so did not prepare. Sorry, you guys. That's what happens when you gotta work till 5 o'clock. Driving me crazy. But my schedules recently got changed to, let's see, I work usually 7:30 to 4, but since I had 2 people out in my office, I need to work until 5. So anyway, okay, so we're going to be using Evening Evergreen ink. Okay, this is the new in color. It's a dark green. You guys, I love this green. I used it probably on my last few lives because it's going with all the paper that I've been using. All right, so I've got Life is Better with Friends Like You. I'm just going to, this is my scrap I'm going to punch with. So let me just turn it this way. Okay, super, super nice green. Probably could see that. And then I'm using Many Thanks from All of Us. And again, I'm not, you guys, I can't look at comments when I stamp because I get crooked. Like, let me just, I think I got that sticker on just a little bit off. All right, that's a little bit better. We'll go with that. I just don't look at the comments, sorry. Let me just see. I'm going to just scroll down and see if there's anything. Paper's going on me. Jody, you're going to love the paper, okay? I know you will. Oh, what do I do for my other job, Carol? Well, I work for Parks and Recreation Agency in Hartford, Vermont. So I do a lot of different things. I'm mainly the administrative assistant, but this week I got to go on a hike. So that was super fun. Mondays, I walk with a group. We've been walking every Monday at our sports complex. There's a walking path. It's 0.9 miles, and we do 4 laps. We start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we get done around 10:15, 10:30. I walk. There's different levels of walkers. Oh, shoot. And the fast ones go in the front, and me, because I am the programmer that's responsible for this program. I walk with the last group, so I'm always the sweeper. I call myself the sweeper. And then usually the slower people don't do all 4 laps, so they kind of leave when they want, and then I try to catch up on the last lap with that leader, and I can never do it. She's like a half a lap ahead of us. It's crazy. She's so super fast. She hikes with us too, so I do that. I just do lots of the marketing. I actually I teach a monthly card class with the Parks and Rec agency too. So we're the only agency in the state of Vermont that's accredited. So last year we went through our accreditation and it was a lot of work. So we're happy about that. But that's what I do. And I hope that after 5 years I can retire and do Stampin' Up full time. That's my goal. Okay, so we are using this flower here. It is, you got to be careful because it will punch out better if you stamp it a correct way. So I marked my stamp with a little ink mark right underneath here. So I know that little stem or leaf needs to be at the top. I'm going to try to get 2 flowers out of this small piece. This is Bumblebee cardstock. And then I'm going to take this little one. Now this little one is better if you stamp it so you have 2 of the petals facing down. And I'm just going to stamp 2 of them. This is green, Evening Evergreen on Night of Navy. In my June card club, we're only using 1 color, and that is the Evening Evergreen. And again, lots of different colors will work. Okay, now we're going to punch out those images here. So we're going to see if I got this right. Of course, probably Karen didn't. Oh, Lord. Nope, I didn't. No, I did. Hold on, let me think. There we go. Okay. All right, so there's 1. And you get lots of these little pieces flying out. It's because there's more than just flowers here. There's those leaves. So you just kind of line it up really easy and it punches out. So there's 2. And now this one here, I'm going to, let's see, I didn't want to waste that Night of Navy, but I'm going to do that. I'm punching out those little ones, and it's really hard to see here. Let me, whoa. So there's 1. So this Night of Navy, I just thought, you guys, so this Night of Navy is my high school colors. Blue and gold, super team. That's what we used to say all the time back in the 80s. I just dated myself, but all right, so we got blue and gold there, kind of. This is Bumblebee, Night of Navy. So we've got those all prepped. Now, this die here comes from the Sailing Homes dies. Since I can't find it, it's not around here, I'm going to see what punch is going to work best. I've got the story label punch. I think that's going to work fantastic. Yes, it will. So I'm just going to punch it out. Okay, so now we've got these pieces here. Let's bring in the card. This is going to go over top here, but we need to put some dimensionals on the back side. So let me grab my sheet of dimensionals, and I would recommend putting one there and here. Now, the middle here is, it's still gonna get like buckled down. So honestly, I would take 4 dimensionals and we butt those really close together. And that way you still have room for that ribbon to flow underneath there. And I think this will work really good. You really don't want your things to crush and buckle. So adding a couple of dimensionals really does work nice. All right, so there we go. That's on there, really nice and solid. It's not gonna buckle, it's not gonna smash. And then we just need to embellish here with some of these flowers. Now this one is way too big, and this one is going to work. Although it's Night of Navy on Night of Navy, that's not gonna be like super great, but it'll work. So actually, let me just see. We're gonna add that yellow one right there. And I'm totally out of the camera, you guys. I just happened to look over there. Sorry about that. So what I'm gonna do with this one is, since it's kind of off the edge here and it's still on here. I'm going to just cut one of these sides here, and I'm going to use a small little edge strip. We're going to add it here, and I'm going to peel this off. Okay, now this is going to go down in this area here, and I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive right over here. And that way it's going to stick pretty good. Now I don't want to make sure, I want to make sure that it's not going over the edge here because it's going to get crushed in your envelope. So I'm just going to give that a really good press. And I don't know if you can see what I mean here. So here's that dimensional underneath that little flower. So now it's equal height to that blue panel. And now this here is stuck to the ribbon by just adding your adhesive there. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to embellish it, and I got those little square, oh, they're in my closet. Sorry, I keep all my card club stuff organized in my closet and I didn't grab them, but we're going to use these in color jewels. These are the 2021, 2023 in color jewels. They have been on back order, but I heard that today they are back in stock, so you can order those. Actually, I have to put these two on here too, so let me just do that. So you can do a number of things. You can pop these up with dimensionals if you want. I'm just going to add one there, and I'm going to add another small piece of dimensional on the back of this one. We're going to layer it right up, and then this one over here can just get tucked in underneath over here, and that way we've got 3 little flowers. And let me just embellish those by using my take your pick tool. I'm going to grab some of these, and these are the pale papayas. They're a little bit of yellow, so they're going to pop a little bit on the Night of Navy. And then on the yellow one there, I'll just take this green here, soft succulent. And then we need to add one on here, so I'm just going to grab the Evening Evergreen and add that there. So that is this card. So let me just actually put them side by side so you can kind of see the difference. I personally like this one here on the left side, but I always like to give you guys a different example using the same products there, so you can kind of just see the reverse of the card. So what do you guys like, left or right? Let's see. Oh, Pam G's here. All right. And Deb Franklin. And she's awesome at her job. Thank you. Thank you, Deb. I try hard. Okay. Right. Carol says right. Anybody else? Oh, this one? Wow. And I like them both. I kind of like them both too. They're definitely very nice cards. And I don't know if you can see, but for me, I can see it here. This is the one we decided to turn around. So this one, this Calypso Coral in my craft room looks lighter than this one. And I think it's just because the way it's embossed. And I probably know that you can't see that, but I can see it. Anyway, okay, so that's that card. The next thing we're gonna do is we are going to clean up my area, and we're going to make this card here. So give me just about 30 seconds so I can make some space here, because I'm gonna need it. That is for sure. Okay, and here's the envelope, in case you want to check out the envelope. I did not embellish that one because guys and gems and stuff like that, I don't really think they kind of like that. But maybe some guys do. I don't know. Okay, so I've got a lot of inks that I need to use with this card. And a lot of stamp sets. You would not believe how many I have here. So for this stamp set, let me just show you where it is in the catalog because it's very kind of lost. It's a carryover. It is on page 16. It's called Mountain Air, and it teams up with the Majestic Mountain dies. There's something special about this stamp set and this one up here, Jar of Flowers. It's that they're reversible. So you can stamp on either side of the stamp. I haven't tried that. I just like the really detailed mountains. But if you've tried it, let me know. I think Pam G, you have that stamp set. Also, the Best Year stamp set, I'm using that one as well tonight. That one is on page 103. It's $20 in the catalog. And then that embossing folder, you guys, that I used on that previous card, it's called Pretty Flowers. $7.50. It's really, really reasonably priced. And if you're a demonstrator, you get your 20 to 25% off of that. That's on page 155. Okay, so we're gonna need a Stampin' Purist mat, that's for sure. Scrap paper. Here's the two stamp sets, Mountain Air, Best Year. The dies I'm going to be using, I'm only using one, but I did create a template for you guys tonight. It's called Majestic Mountains, and in the set it comes with two of these dies, so you can die cut this two at once. And then, oops, here's some ribbon on there, that's kind of crazy. Then we've got some clouds. I'm not using that stamp tonight. We've got the double trees here. These are spruce trees. We've got single tree stamp, which I'm going to use. And I'm also using this one here, this stamp. And I'm using this one. And this one can get die cut out. So this would really make a nice Christmas card stamp set. Like, these could all be like, you could make some kind of mountain scene. Maybe I'll try that towards Christmas time. Use this stamp set as a Christmas set. We'll see. Okay, so let me get my tub of supplies. The ink colors I'm using are Pool Party, Cajun Craze, Night of Navy, Pumpkin Pie, and that's a little dirty, I gotta clean that up, and Crushed Curry. So for my sky, this is my color palette here. Let me just get it nice for you. All right, let me see, here we go. English, Cajun Craze, Pumpkin Pie, Crushed Curry, okay? The water is going to be Pool Party. I'm stamping the little mountains in, believe it or not, Night of Navy. And these mountains here are going to be in Evening Evergreen. Okay, but first what I want to do is, let's see, trying to think what I want to do. I think you guys are going to kill me. I am so not with it tonight, you guys. I totally did not cut anything. I'm like so embarrassed, you guys. I am so sorry. You guys can all leave me if you want. But I thought I had this all done. I am so sorry, but we'll get it done real quick. I swear I did. I don't know. Oh, Lord. Okay, so I need Evening Evergreen, and I need Soft Succulent. Oh, Lord. Okay, sorry. All right, so you're going to see me cut cardstock. So this is the Evening Evergreen. I always make 2 cards at once, and I score it first, and then I cut it in half. So scored it at 4 1/4, and then I cut it at 5 1/2. Then I've got my Soft Succulent. This is cut 3 7/8. by 5 1/8. And then what I'm going to do, we're going to actually cut one of these panels down, but they're both going to be cut 4 by 5 1/4, both of them. And then after I sponge this and stamp it, I'm going to trim it down. And I'll show you why I do that. Okay, so this is the one we're going to sponge first. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm really sorry, you guys. All right, so when I sponge, I have to go portrait way, just because that's the way I kind of do it. And these are the ink colors I'm going to use. I'm first going to start with pumpkin pie, and I do not have the new brushes. Well, actually I have 3 of them, and they already have ink on them because I've been working with them. But if you guys don't have these brushes yet, just buy 1 pack and you'll be 100% sold. These bristles here are so nice. It's just a different sponging experience. I'm going to use just the Stampin' Up sponges here. They kind of look like this. I kind of keep them with some pumpkin pie. That's the cardstock. But it definitely does not blend the same. Like it's so much smoother. So if you don't have them, you should add them to your order, your next order, just because you will love them. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just going to add that kind of the medium color first. So pumpkin pie, I'm creating my sky just by dabbing my sponge here and then just doing some small circles and then call it good for right now. The next color I'm going to throw in there is Cajun Craze. And let me find my other sponge here. Let's see, this one I don't have the paper on it. So this is much darker. So I always like to start onto my scrap paper and then bring the ink over. Okay, just so you don't kind of like get really dark colors. And I go back and forth, back and forth. Now, there's probably a million other demonstrators and paper crafters out there that can do a much better job than me, but I don't know, I think I can kind of show you how to sponge. And mine I think mine come out okay. I like to smooth going back and forth just like this. The next color I'm going to throw in here is Crushed Curry. I like to finish with a yellow when I'm doing skies, because I think yellow just smooths everything out just by adding in that yellow. Okay, so let me just turn it this way. That's my sky right now. I do need to add my water, but I think I'm going to add a little bit more yellow coloring right down in here, because I don't really want a lot of water. And I got to be careful because adding that blue can turn this to green. And we don't want green water. That would be so yucky. All right, so now I'm going to bring in Pool Party. And I'm going to turn it this way because I'm right-handed and this is how I sponge. And now I'm going to go back and forth and in circles. And I'm being really super careful when I get up to that yellow. A lighter touch. Okay. All right, I don't want to probably do much more just because it's going to start turning to be green. I'm going to add a little bit more of that yellow. me just turn it this way over top of what I just sponged. Okay. All right. So I think that's pretty good. All right. So now what we need to do is I am going to close all these ink pads because I really don't need them anymore. And the way it's going, I probably would do something crazy. Okay, I need blue and I need the evening evergreen. Okay, we are going to start with this image here. It's this one right here, okay, the Detailed Mountains, okay. I don't know if you can see, however, I did stamp that in the evening evergreen green ink. Okay, so I know I totally cut that paper. I just don't know where it is. We'll see. See where it is. Okay, I'll probably find it like at the very end. All right, so I'm grab my Stampin' Pierce Matte because we're working with photopolymer in the beginning. And that gives you a nice little spongy effect. I'm going to take my ink pad to the stamp. Now I'm using a, what is this block? An E block, and it goes over the edge, but you don't really have to worry about that too much because, oh shoot, man, crazy. I promise next week will be better. I'm like sweating my hands. It's really warm in my craft room and I can't turn my AC on because then you won't be able to hear me. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this a little bit above the blue and the yellow. And hopefully I get it straight. Okay, so I've got that really good pressure there. And our mountains are glowing, okay? It's a really nice sunset. It's an evening. It could be actually a sunrise. Okay, so we have that one on there. Now I'm going to take the Night of Navy. And here's another, it's the same length. This is not a Stampin' Up block. It's something I've had in my craft room forever. I think I got it at a garage sale. But it works. So I'm just going to ink up that whole image. Now you can kind of see what it looks like. I'm going to take this stamp and I'm going to stamp in this yellow area but over the mountains just a little bit. And I'm going to give a good pressure. And sweet. You see that? So we have a nice reflection of the sunset onto the water. We have these nice little trees here. And this is kind of like, I think it's reflection in the water. The next thing we want to do is we want to add these birds. I don't know if you could see that or not, but I had some birds up here. So I'm going to add those. I think it doesn't really matter. I would just use a dark ink color. So I just inked up with the Evening Evergreen. And I've got those there. The next thing I want to do is I want to stamp the Happy Birthday to You. We do not need to have a piercing mat just because we're using a regular cling stamp set. And I know this stamp, cling stamp is not on straight. So let me just practice here because I really don't want to put this crooked. Okay, I think I can get it. So I'm just going to stamp right there. Oh, that's a little crooked, but that's okay. All right, so I just stamped over top of that blue, the pool party that I sponged. Okay, now, let's see, what did I do on the inside? Wishing you the best year yet. Okay, so let's bring in that panel. And I'm going to ink up in the Evening Evergreen. Okay, really nice. And now let's bring in that piercing mat again. We're switching to photopolymer stamps. And then, let's see, where is that tree? Okay. Right there. Okay, found it. So I'm going to create, let me show you, several trees over here by stamping first generation, second generation, third, and then first again. So to do that, hold on, I just inked up in Night of Navy. We do not want a blue tree. Okay, we're gonna try that again. All right, Evening Evergreen. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. So we've got 3 different shades of green. Then I'm just going to ink up again over here, and then maybe over here one time. So now we have all different shades. It looks very like it's a forest. There's lots of depth going on. Okay, and you can see how I did that on my envelope as well. So just give that a try if you haven't tried that before. It does a nice job. Okay, so now we can assemble this card, hopefully. Okay, so remember I said I was going to trim that down. So let me bring this back in. If you can see on all the edging here, it's kind of like much darker. I don't want that to look that way, so I'm going to trim it down to 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to take a little bit off on each side. So I'm just putting that in the paper trimmer here, getting rid of that, and then I'm going to turn it over here, and I'm going to cut it at 5 inches. And now I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to take a little bit, like 1/8 of an inch off the sky. And now this one is going to be cut at 3 3/4. Now I got to be careful because that sentiment is kind of low, so I'm going to have to probably go back to the sky and trim off a little bit more. I don't want to trim off too much there, so let's just turn it right back around. Okay, so let me get rid of the paper trimmer. I store mine on my wall just because it's got that nice little slot. All right, so can you see that now? It's much cleaner and fresher. So we're going to mount that on some, just like that. I think that's the color I used. Let me just look here. Yep, soft succulent. All right, so we're just going to add our adhesive. Since I sponged this panel, I'm going to actually use adhesive on all 4 sides and a little bit in the middle, just because it's got so much ink on it. And did you notice I didn't use any designer series paper in this card? Okay, so now what you can do, you can pop this up if you wanted to. I don't think it's necessary. You can do whatever works for you. I'm just going to add my adhesive using the Stampin' Seal. And now I'm just going to center this panel on the front side. I like using the size, just so good, this size, just because it gives you more of the card base showing through than just your regular like 4 by 5 1/4. All right, so 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Now here is our inside, and I'm just going to add 1 strip of adhesive and add this to the inside. All right, so that's our inside. This is our outside, and the die cut. So guess what? Karen didn't die cut one of those trees. But I'm not going to put one on it. I'm going to just show you how I used my Stella to give it a little bit of sparkle. So here's our Wink of Stella. Plus this card actually can, it'll show you 2 different ways you can make this card without even the dies. All right, so I've got enough of that Wink of Stella in the barrel there. And I'm just gonna take my Take Your Pick tool and I'm gonna tap it, and all the Wink of Stella right now is getting splattered onto the card to making it, just give it a little bit of like sunshine and sparkle and nice little effect. And let me just show you, I'm gonna put the cap back on. If you can see that, who knows? It's really hard to tell if you can or not. But it does really look nice in person. Have any of you guys ever tried that splatter effect with Wink of Stella, or you can do it with your blends as well? You can just take your blends and kind of flick it, the tip of it, being really careful that you don't break it. So here, let me just put these 2 side by side so you can see the one on the left side here does not have the die cut, which kind of just shows you a mountain range. And then here's one with the trees, so you can envision what these trees are right in here as well. So I don't know, you guys can let me know what you guys think, left or right. Let's see, it looks so cool. Wow. You guys are so kind. You're so patient with me because I really screwed up tonight. And oh my goodness. Oh yeah, so cut off the, sometimes your trimmer doesn't do a really good job cutting, especially if you need a new blade. So you'll get those little raised edges. And if you don't use your bone folder to smooth them down, you're gonna get some really dark edges, and just cutting them just a little bit off on all 4 sides really does work nicely on this card. So you can't even see, you know, the edges at all. All right, so left, Carol L likes left, likes them both. Left, you don't mess up. It's called creative license. I like that, Joni. You're so nice. All right, so anybody have any questions before I sign off? Let me know. And don't forget, if you want to join Card Club, I've got 21 people in it. I welcomed Patty C today, and it closes out on June 20th, which is a Sunday on Father's Day. So, and Father's Day is actually the first day of summer. I don't know, we're gonna get a heat wave here starting Sunday and Monday. Not ready for it. All right. All right, left. Yeah, so I like this one on the left because it doesn't get in the way, like this big trees kind of get in the way of the mountains, but they all work both. This is the one I designed for my boss and for his birthday. And then this is the one we did today. It's a little crooked. This one actually I stamped in the Evening Evergreen. This one I stamped in Night of Navy. So the sentiment on the left side here, happy birthday to you, is a little bit darker. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed crafting with me tonight, and that you guys have a great weekend. And I'll catch you later. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Email me if you have any questions, and see you next Friday. All right, take care. Bye.